Look at this. How festive.
You gotta be careful, don't use the gavel on that.
Trustee Vaughn said he might be late.
Yeah, I saw.
And Brian is right here.
Okay. Hi, Brian. All right, shall we go? I'd like to call this meeting to order. A regular meeting of the Village Board on Monday, December 21st at 7 p.m. here in the Germantown Village Hall Boardroom and also available via WebEx. This meeting has been given public notice in accordance with sections 19.83 and 19.84 of the Wisconsin statutes in such form that will apprise the general public and news media of subject matter that is intended for consideration and action. Roll call shows all Village Board members present except for Trustee Baum, who may be late tonight and has given us notice as such. At this time, I will ask us all to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Thank you. Next item is President's Report. Nothing huge to report tonight. We're all coming up on end of the year and holiday celebrations, which is hard to believe. It's been quite a year, but I think the year went quickly, as they all do. As I get older, they get faster and faster for whatever reason. I don't know. But it was a tough year, not only for Village, but also for a lot of residents. A lot of changes in the way that we went to work, a lot of changes in the way that we worked, and a lot of changes in the way that we act or react to people. But we're coming towards the end, and hopefully everybody in Germantown is looking forward to the holiday celebrations. I think I can comfortably speak for the board that we all wish you and your families a safe and blessed holiday, however you would like to spend it, however you'd like to celebrate it. But hopefully it will be a great holiday for you and also a great end to a tough year for everyone. So from me to you, Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is announcements of forthcoming events of public interest, committee and department reports, and we can start with committee reports and committee chairs with Trustee Zabel.
General Government and Finance met tonight earlier, and we will meet again on January 18th at 6 p.m. in this office, in this room.
Thank you. Trustee Miller.
Public Safety will meet Monday, January 4th at 6 p.m. in this room.
Thank you. Trustee Kaminsky.
Public Works will meet in this room on January 12th, which is a Tuesday, at 6 p.m.
Thank you. Does anyone else have anything else they'd like to mention of forthcoming events of public interest, committee or department reports? All right. The only other thing that I would like to announce under this agenda item is there are currently 4 seats that are up for election coming up in April, but we have 2 that have now become vacant. Trustee Wing has declared in the last meeting his notification of non-candidacy, and he has not yet turned in his form, but he has declared it. And then tonight, as a big surprise to me, and very surprised and at the same time disheartened and saddened, is Art Zabel has also turned in his notification of non-candidacy. So I'm sorry to see that, Art. You've been a great board member, a great servant to the community, and I've always appreciated your input and all your knowledge and background that you've brought to this board. I don't know who we're going to designate as our historian anymore. And when it starts to become me, then it's time to start looking at something else to do. So sorry to hear that, but we wish you the best going forward and hope that it turns out to everything you want it to be. So with that then, I'll let our village clerk give us some information in regards to anyone that would wish to run for the seats that are all being up for election, and then also how to put in paperwork for for the uncontested, or any of the seats if anyone's interested in running for village board.
Thank you. So the forms required to run for office are on the village website. You can find them under the newsflash area, or you can call the clerk's office and pick them up. Either of those, whichever would work out better for you. And it's under the candidate area of the newsflash. It's also on the clerk's page as well. The deadline to turn in the paperwork is January 5th, which is the first Tuesday in January.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That then takes us to the next item on the agenda, which is citizen input and public appearance on items not subject to a public hearing. There are no public hearings on tonight's agenda. If there is anyone wishing to come forward within our audience or anyone that is online, they're welcome to do so, and all I would ask is you state your name and your address for the record. Before we do bring in somebody to speak, I do have an email that we had received. We received it on Monday, December 21st, and the subject is concern and question. And it goes as, to whom it may concern, I'd like to address an issue at the next village board meeting tonight. Please see below. With so many people in a work-from-home status, I often run into many people trying to keep fit and get a little walking in on a daily basis, such as myself. And there is a wonderful path that is basically a 4-mile square that covers Pilgrim Road North to Mequon Road West, to Division Road South, and again to Donjas Bay. But oftentimes it is not attended to so that it is safe for folks to walk. It is left icy or snow-covered. If they do get a chance to plow it, as they do, couldn't they apply salt or sand at the same time, leaving the path better in terms of not being so treacherous? Many people I pass are seniors or older folks who don't want to risk falling down. Am I asking too much? Sincerely, Mary Ann Penkel, and she just leaves her phone number and no address. So we do appreciate that input. I don't know if was Larry here? There he is. Larry, I don't know if you got anything to add in regards to how that priority or how the prioritization of when you do not plow those sidewalks, just to kind of add to this request and question.
The sidewalks are on a second or third priority level. We don't address those until all the streets are caught up and plowed and made safe. And then, so that could usually be a day or the second day after the snow event. And at that point, if it's a rainy or soft event, everything could refreeze on there. We do not salt those walks. They'll take our articulated plows and drive through them, but we don't salt or sand those walks.
Okay, and does it take up to a certain amount of inches fallen in order for you to plow, or is it just every time?
I don't think they do it on an inch or two snow event. It is a lower priority because those same people that run those plows are plowing the village parking lots, the village streets.
Okay,
So it is a secondary event to a snowstorm.
okay. Appreciate it. Thank you for that information.
Mr. President,
Yes, trustee Zabel.
maybe it's something that we could take up in Public Works just to see if we do want to deal. The other thing I would question, if the attorneys, I see he's online, if you want to take and look if we have any liability, if more and more people start using the sidewalks, and if they do slip, if we would possibly have to have more of an effort to clean them, because, like you say, it's not a priority. We, at one time, never plowed the pathways that were around, but we do now, and we open ourselves up to a liability by not having them safer for people to be on them, because I do agree, before there were very few people on those walkways. There seem to be more and more, as time goes on, and more and more people go to use them. So if it's all right with the chair and with Larry, if we could possibly address this at the Public Works meeting on the 12th?
Sure. Chair?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do it.
Village attorney,
The salting as well, if we could.
do you have any input into
We don't
this
have
matter?
equipment for that, even.
No, nothing particular. Obviously, we can discuss it on the 12th. The immediate thought that comes to mind is with them being kind of recreational paths and recreational uses. We probably have immunity. The recreational community, as everybody does in Wisconsin, but we have to look at it a little bit closer.
Okay, thank you. All right, is there anyone else that would like to come forward for citizen input or public appearance at this time? Anyone within the audience or anyone that's online with us via WebEx? No? All right, then we'll go on to the next item on the agenda, which is consent agenda. Motion to be in order?
approve A through F.
Okay.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to approve consent agenda items A through F. Is there any discussion on that motion to approve? No discussion? We'll do roll call. Vote, please.
Trustee Myers?
Aye.
Trustee Miller?
Aye.
Trustee Hudson?
Aye.
Trustee Kaminsky? Trustee Pieper? Aye. Trustee Wing? Trustee Zabel?
Aye.
President Walter?
Aye.
Motion carried.
All right, takes care of consent agenda. There is no unfinished business, and there are no public hearings. So that then takes us to new business.
Motion to approve new business A.
All right. New business, item A is Resolution 71-2020, is an appreciation of service to Finance Director Kim Rath. Motion made and seconded. Any discussion?
You want to read it?
What I'm going to do, I think, is we'll go through the resolutions, and then I'll read each of them, one next to the other one, and then the people that are here, so that their family members can enjoy their appreciation from the village, can come up and then be recognized at that time. So we'll go through the resolutions, and then I'll read the actual resolution proclamations here. Well, we will hand out definitely one. There's others that still require a signature and seal, and Deanna wants to make them special because of length of service. Any other discussion on the motion to approve new business item A? No other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None opposed. Motion carries. Next item under new business is Resolution 72-2020, appreciation of service to Deputy Treasurer, Utility Clerk Valerie Bauer.
Move approval.
Second?
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? No discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? None opposed. Motion carries. New business item C is Resolution 73-2020, is appreciation of service to Communication Supervisor Lynn Schmidt.
Motion to approve new business
Second.
item C.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? No discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None opposed? Motion carries. Now, change my seat here. Man. All right, the first one was a resolution for appreciation of service to Finance Director Kim Rath. And we have a couple things to read here. The first one is the resolution itself, which is 71-2020, appreciation of service to Finance Director Kim Rath. Whereas the village board members, village employees, and citizens would like to express their appreciation and gratitude to Finance Director Kim Rath for her public service, contributions, and dedication while serving the village from November 13th, 1986 to December 31st, 2020. And whereas prior to serving as Finance Director, Director Rath served in various positions within the Germantown Finance Department as a utility clerk from November 13th, 1986 to November 1988, Deputy Treasurer from November 1988 to March 3rd, 2003, and Finance Director from March 4th, 2003 to December 31st, 2020. Director Rath composed and directed 17 years of balanced budgets and tax collections. Director Rath was instrumental in the village receiving the annual Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in the Financial Reports by the Government Finance Officers Association. Now therefore be it resolved that the village board does hereby acknowledge the dedication to the Germantown community that Finance Director Kim Rath has shown during her service and wishes her well. And that is introduced by us today on December 21st, 2020, and signed by myself, Dean Walter, Village President. Now, with somebody that has that amount of service and all the different departments, not so much departments, but different types of positions that she held, we also do have an additional plaque for her, not to diminish any of the others in their service, but we do have a plaque that I'd like to read, and Kim, if you could come up, please, I would appreciate it. I know that you love being up here and being in the front. So, What we have here is a nice plaque, and you're going to have to really get a nice shelf that has studs behind it to put this thing up, because it carries some weight. But it does say, in honor of your service, Kim Rath, retiring after 34 years of service, November 13th, 1986 to December 31st, 2020. Utility Clerk, Deputy Treasurer, and Finance Director. Thank you for your exceptional work and dedication throughout the years to the Village of Germantown. Kim, as you start the next chapter in your life, know that you will be missed. We will miss your professional expertise, mentorship, and your friendship. You have left your indelible mark. This truly is the end of a remarkable era. Our best wishes go with you, and Godspeed, your colleagues and friends from the Village of Germantown, and it's dated December 21st, 2020. So with that, first, a round of applause for appreciation and congratulations. And Kim has always done an excellent job. She's always been great there, and appreciated in the way that she steered the financial department and kept us on track with our budgets, kept us on schedule, and also kept the Village of Germantown very well in regards to our bond rating and in our payment schedule. So for all that, I do appreciate it, and you will be missed by me as well. So thank you so much. You better take two hands on that one.
Oh my gosh.
I told you. Would you like to say something?
I'd just like to say thank you for everything. I'm very appreciative of the job, of the village, of being here. And that when I started in 1986, population was 10,000. We hadn't had our personal PCs come in yet, so we're still using typewriters. Our stationery at that time was the Daisy with Village on the Go. And I must say, it has grown. From 86 to 2020, this place has just taken off, and I just love driving through and seeing all the changes that happened, and I'm very, very happy. I was here and spent my aging years here with everyone else. Thank you so much.
The next resolution we had was the Resolution 72-2020, and that was an appreciation of service to Deputy Treasurer Valerie Bauer. Whereas the village board members, village employees, and the citizens would like to express their appreciation and gratitude to Deputy Treasurer Valerie Bauer for her public service, contributions, and dedication while serving the village from November 13th, 1988 to December 31st, 2020. And whereas prior to serving as Deputy Treasurer, Valerie Bauer served in various positions within the Germantown Finance Department. She was with the Office of Assistant DPW from November 1988 to November 1989. She was a utility clerk from November 1989 to October 1995. Utility clerk also from April 2003 to October 2020, and then Deputy Treasurer from October 2020 to December 31st, 2020. Now therefore, be it resolved that the village board does hereby acknowledge the dedication to the Germantown community that Deputy Treasurer Valerie Bauer has shown during her service and wishes her well. That's introduced by the village board and signed by myself, the village president. Valerie is not with us tonight in her dedication to service. She has choir practice, and as we have a big event coming up with Christmas, I'm sure that they have many things to practice. So we do wish her well, and we are also very appreciative of all the years of service that she has shown not only to the village and its staff, but also to the residents as well. So Valerie, thank you very much for all your service. The next resolution we have was 73-2020, and that was appreciation of service to Communications Supervisor Lynn Schmidt. Lynn, could you come forward, please? Another one I know that loves to be up here and be in the front with all the attention. We have Resolution 73-2020, appreciation of service to Communications Supervisor Lynn Schmidt. Whereas the village board members, village employees, and citizens would like to express their appreciation and gratitude to Communications Supervisor Lynn Schmidt for her public service, contributions, and dedication while serving the village from March 24th, 2003 to December 18th, 2020. And whereas Lynn began her law enforcement career with Washington County Sheriff's Office as a communications officer, serving the community for 9 years with the Sheriff's Department prior to joining the Germantown Police Department. Lynn's accomplishments include revising the emergency medical dispatch program and ensuring that all communication officers receive emergency medical dispatching certifications. In 2019, Lynn completed the Certified Public Manager program. Now therefore be it resolved that the Village Board does hereby acknowledge the dedication to the Germantown community that Lynn Schmidt has shown during her service and wishes her well. And that's introduced today, December 21st, 2020, and signed by me and passed by the Village Board. So Lynn, you've been here as long since I've been on the board and have always done an excellent job. And we're also a very strong presence in regards to making sure that our communications operated well, not only for our residents, but also the service that they offered was top notch that could be allowed. So we always appreciated the different types of things that you brought forward to help make that better. And also when we kind of revamped that whole front area, you were very much involved with that, and I think it really turned out better, not only for the police department and the way it operated, but also for the village residents as well. So I thank you for that.
Thank you.
Would you like to say something? Okay. All right, that takes care of all our resolutions. We will be signing these tonight, and then Deanna will then be putting the seal on them and finishing them up so that you guys can pick them up. But again, thank you all for your service. We are very appreciative, and we're all very sorry to see you go, but we wish you the best in your life going forward. Congratulations. Next item under new business is item D, Resolution 74-2020, salaries and compensation for exempt employees and other non-represented support staff for the calendar year of 2021. Would you like to give us some background and information on this, Village Administrator?
Sure, I can, just briefly, this is the annual salary resolution that the Village Board generally approves. The table that's listed here includes a 2% increase as approved by the Village Board during the budget process.
Any questions?
Motion to approve Resolution 74-2020.
Motion made, do I have a second? Second. Motion made and seconded. Question, Trustee Zabel, this came through your committee?
It did not go through anything.
Okay,
I think the administrator said that's basically part of the budget.
right, that's right, I'm sorry.
It came through there. The only thing I want to point out is that in Public Works, we don't have a village engineer, so to put an annual salary in here, and we don't have a civil engineer either. So those two positions are open, so I would think that would be to be determined later date on it, TBD. And the other thing on the engineering, we have a title of an engineering assistant, in reality, I think it's an engineering tech, and I think we just hired an engineering tech. So I would think that you may want to change that title, the deal from engineering assistant to engineering tech, to match in job description and job title. But I made motion to amend this ordinance for all purposes that the village engineer and the civil engineer be marked as TBD, and that the engineering assistant be changed to engineering tech.
All right, that's your motion to amend, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made to amend and seconded, any discussion on that motion to amend? No discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? None opposed, motion carries. Back to the motion as amended, further discussion? No further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? None opposed, motion carries. Next item under new business is item E, Resolution 75-2020, State Municipal Agreement for Local multimodal, local supplement project.
I'll put a motion on the floor to approve it.
We have a motion, do we have a second? Motion made and seconded, discussion.
Basically, what this amounts to is that we entered into an agreement to do the design work on Holy Joe from the on-off ramp at 41 over to Dronedale. The method that we used was that being that the beetle that the bird took the government report won that, so it's a matter of changing how they find the money, and the money now goes through a local RIP program. It basically still giving us the same amount, I believe, $1 million for the design of that road and payment of that road. And that's what we want to do.
You said the only thing that's changing is the engineering is coming more local?
No, what's changed is that originally they put it, under a new program that the governor vetoed, and then the city of Milwaukee under Barrett took him to the court, and so Barrett won the court case, and that they no longer could not do the MLS program, they now changed it to a local highway program.
Okay.
So in the process, they have to change the document by which they're receiving the money.
Okay. Further discussion on the motion to approve? No further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? None opposed? Motion carries. Next item under new business is new business item F. F and G are both on the agenda as possibility for closed session. Do you want to take one and then the other, or do you want me to put them together? First item under new business, item F is Village of Richfield Potential Water Sewer Service Agreement. The village board may enter into a closed session per Wisconsin statutes 19.85 subsection 1 subparagraph E for the purpose of deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investment of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session, and then may reconvene into open session to take such action as it deems appropriate. And item G is administrative performance review. The village board may convene in a closed session per Wisconsin statutes 19.85 subsection 1 subparagraph C for considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, and may convene into open session to take such action as it deems appropriate. Board?
Motion to go into closed session for items F and G.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Who do we need in the closed session?
For
Well, I
G, it would probably just be Steve.
And then item F, Public Works.
Well, and can I suggest that I don't know, the village attorney may have some thoughts
Right.
on item F?
Village attorney.
Do that and keep it over the airwaves.
Say what?
Yeah, we can do closed session over WebEx, right?
Village attorney.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest that I know that there has been some concern that perhaps there may have been some open meetings issues with something that may have taken place. In light of that, I would actually recommend, unless there is a particular item that we're worried about Richfield finding out in terms of a bargaining position, that the Richfield Water one might be one that's better held in open session, because it helps eliminate some of those concerns that I've seen raised.
Board?
I'd like to know what concerns he had.
Well, this actual item was put on the agenda with a signature of Dennis Myers and also trustee Phil Hudson. So they asked to put it on the agenda, they filled out the form and signed it and submitted it. So I would ask if they feel it's fine in open session in regards to a discussion of, and if it gets into a point of where we're openly discussing negotiation perhaps, that we wouldn't want Richfield we wouldn't want to telegraph to Richfield, then perhaps we can go into closed session at that time. But it sounds like the village attorney would rather keep it in open session for as long as we can, and then if it's determined that now we're getting further into a negotiation status, we can take it into closed session.
Open's fine for me.
Okay? And then with that, if we go into closed session, then we would take the village administrator, community development director,
Right.
and public works,
And the village attorney.
and the village attorney.
And Dave Baum's on there too.
Well, he would be included anyways as a board member. Just because he's on the outside there, it doesn't mean he would not be included.
Darn.
All right, then with that, we'll start with the village, with item F in open, take it to close, and then item G will definitely be in a closed session. So is there any discussion on those motions?
I guess I just asked Dennis and Phil the reason they put it on, if there's something that they...
Well, can we vote on it, and then perhaps they can get into it at that time?
Sure.
Okay. Any other discussion on the motion to go into closed session where warranted for items F or G? If not, then we'll do a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Miller?
Aye.
Trustee Pieper? Aye. Trustee Baum?
He's waving, he's waving.
Trustee Hudson?
Aye.
Trustee Kaminsky? Trustee Myers?
Aye.
Trustee Wing?
Aye.
Trustee Zabel?
Aye.
President Walter?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, before we start with, well, we can start with item F. So item F under new business is Village of Richfield potential water sewer service agreement, and the village board may enter into closed session. For deliberating, we've read that already. So with that then, I'll turn it over to Dennis based off of the question that trustee Zabel had in regards to the reasoning of asking for this to be placed on tonight's agenda. Trustee Myers.
Well, basically speaking, what happened was I had when we had our last closed meeting as such, we had some discussion with trustee, I'm going to call him trustee Phil, but, and in regard to not having enough money, basically speaking, in this offer that was given to us, and just thought about different things in regard to it, and kind of left it go as that. And a little while after that, what the day was or whatever, it doesn't matter, I was talking to Phil in regard to this particular issue, and he said, you know, I've been giving some real good thought in regard to this, and about doing something different in regard to this. And I've had a small discussion with our administrator, and that we talked about it in regard to it, and it was a different concept. I'm using the word concept in regard to what was given us before was just numbers, or we'll do this, we'll do that. And when they talked about a partnership, it was like, well, this is a partnership that's going to last until we get our money, and we got what you're going to offer to us, and that's it. But this is the one-time shot deal. This goes on forever. And what Phil was mentioning made a lot more sense to me. And if I could, President, I'll let Phil explain just exactly what it is, because he's the one who put the insight.
Yeah, so I looked at the deal, and I think as a group, we decided that we didn't necessarily like the framework that we were being offered by the Village of Richfield to provide one of our resources for them. And in listening to the village board and some of the concerns that our village board members I think that I have come up with an idea or a framework where potentially we may be able to enter into those negotiations, which would turn the Village of Richfield from being a customer to truly the Village of Richfield being a partner with the Village of Germantown like they talked about, and that's what I'd like to discuss.
Trustee Wing?
Just a question. I'm willing to listen to what Dennis and Phil are bringing forward. I have a lot of respect for Phil, so I'm measuring myself here. Have either one of you, we received a letter here in front of us, and in the letter it says, if I'm reading this correctly, Richfield is describing the process and how it fell apart. And they say in the first paragraph, but internal discussions have continued to take place among staff and with certain elected officials in the Village of Germantown. That's mysterious. Have either one of you, Dennis or Phil, been contacted by persons in Richfield or persons owning land in Richfield who will benefit, or those persons' parents?
No.
Not to my knowledge.
I'm wondering what the elected officials that they have continued discussions with, who those are. Because Steve isn't elected. It's got to be one of the 9 of us. We're elected.
I've had no discussions with Richfield in regards to this after our last closed
So
session.
who's talking to Richfield, or is this Richfield just making something up?
I have had no discussions with any elected official in the Village of Richfield. The only time I have spoken to them or with them is when they have been here in this boardroom.
To answer your question,
mysterious
to answer
to me.
your
Am I
question,
reading that
I
right?
had a discussion with Jim, the Richfield administrator.
You have?
Yes, I
You
had.
just told me you didn't.
You asked me, did somebody from Richfield contact me? That's the way I took it.
Oh,
Sorry.
jeez. Okay,
It's true.
all right, you're right.
So
You answered
so
the
basically
question.
speaking,
So Healy
before I went
contacted
there,
you.
if I
Oh.
can elaborate a
Oh,
little
you
bit more.
contacted Healy.
Pardon?
You contacted Healy on your own?
I asked him to have a discussion in regard to what his proposal was, because some of the items weren't clear to me. And so I talked to our administrator and told him I was going to have a meeting with them, and I did. And so basically speaking, what he did was put more detail into what it was that they were going to be offering to us in regard to that 2.1 million and so on and so forth, and where it actually was going to go and what they expected in regard to it.
Okay, if we're going to split hairs here, the letter says,
It's your wording.
I know, but I'm accepting you on that. Now, let's go back to the wording, because we were going to split hairs. It says with certain elected officials with an S. So that implies more than one. It's mysterious to me.
Well, that's his letter, not mine, but I have identified myself.
I accept your response. Okay, now we can talk about whatever you guys want to discuss.
And if, Phil, if you want to go into your detail as what you,
I'd rather do it in a closed session. I'm not comfortable doing it in an open forum.
Is there any other, before we look at that, and do we need to take another vote? Village Attorney, do we need to take another vote to go into closed session, or was the previous vote covering that?
Previous vote, I think, is fine.
All right, thank you. Does anyone have any other questions in regards to the letter in front of us or the agenda item itself and how it was presented? No? Okay, then we can go into closed session. Before we go into closed session, though, just want to make an announcement of next village board meeting will be on January 4th at 7 PM here in the Village Hall Boardroom, and also can be accessed via WebEx. We may go into open session again to discuss or vote on any of these matters, but it will not be televised. But anyone who is outside the room at that time can come in during that open session part of that discussion. So with that then, thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you all for watching. Have a Merry Christmas, have a safe holiday season, and have a Happy New Year. Trustee Zabel.
Shut down so that people can't hear or can't get into it.
We're going to have to turn off the meeting on WebEx completely, because with the mics on in here, that's the only way they can hear on WebEx.
We'll just bring David in, maybe Steve can call him on the phone.
We'll call them by phone.
Call Brian and David, and then we'll end the WebEx
So
session.
the WebEx will end, it's
Right.
decided they'll be here via an iPhone.
Okay?
Just
Right.
want people to understand that, if they want to.
Right, thank you. All right, then we'll go into closed session, several minutes for